Hello, everyone, and welcome to Craft and Chat with Miss Craft Princess. I am your hostess, Miss Craft Princess, and I want to say thank you so much for choosing to spend a little time with me this evening. So what is Craft and Chat? It is where we get together. I'm crafting, you're chatting with me in the chat, and we are resetting our minds for the week ahead. That is what we're doing. Seems like I am having trouble with one of the channels. I don't know what is going on, but we're going to roll on. For some reason, it's not showing up. I just got an error on the TV channel. It's not showing up on the TV channel. I don't know. Anyway, I am your hostess, Miss Craft Princess. I am MsCraftPrincess Designs. I'm a handcrafted stationery and custom gift designer. I specialize in beautiful handcrafted greeting cards for all occasions, as well as gift items. And I have a laser and make really pretty laser engraved things. You can see the things that I make at MsCraftPrincessDesigns.com. So I am streaming live on my Facebook page, both Miss Craft Princess as well as my personal page. And if you're not following me, I'd love to have you follow me on social media at Miss Craft Princess on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I don't know what is going on with that TV channel, but we are going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it moving. So I have the cutest little project. Tonight is called Check Out This 2-for-1 Technique. So normally I would tell you that I'm also streaming live on the creativespiritchannel.lightcast.com. I don't think I am right now, but I might be streaming live on their YouTube channel. They do have a YouTube channel. So we will see. You can leave me so craft and chat. I'm crafting and you're chatting with me. So let's get started and see what's in the goodie box, because we're going to do a 2-for-1 technique tonight. I'm going to remove my face. I'm going to raise the camera up a little bit, and we're going to bring the goodie box over. So we have some cardstock, white, black, and gray. It's just something about that color combination I absolutely love. I'm using this stamp set. Y'all have seen me use it before. Flowing Flowers. It's a Stampin' Up! Stamp set. And we're making a birthday card tonight, so I'm going to be using the happy birthday sentiment. Got my Stampin' Chamois just to clean my stamps. I have my liquid glue. We are going to be doing some embossing. I have a die. Scissors, because you just always have scissors, right? And then we're going to be doing some embossing. So I have my Versamark watermark ink pad, so it stamps clear. I have my favorite VersaFine Onyx Black. If you've been with me for a while, you know. I have some clear Brutus Monroe embossing powder, as well as some white embossing powder from Ranger. Have my little brush to brush off the excess, my little embossing buddy that it's got a little cornstarch in it, and what it does is you wipe it over the paper and it stops the embossing powder from getting where you don't want it. And this is just a tray to catch it, a mono sand eraser, because I am going to be embossing on black cardstock, and sometimes that gets a little squirrely. And then I have this stamp set that y'all have seen me use before. It's a Gina K and Hero Art stamp set, and I'm going to be using this beautiful floral. I've used it several times. I absolutely love it. And then we have some low-tack tape. So let us get started. The first thing I'm going to do, let me move some of this stuff out of the way, is cut my cardstock. So I am going to cut the white, and I have 2 sheets, so I'm just going to do them together. And I'm going to cut them at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I hope that y'all have had an amazing week and weekend. It is spring. Happy spring. Let's see. I need some more at 4 1/4. Things are starting to bloom here. And that's always pretty cool, just to walk around and see things blooming. And we just keep these extra pieces because we can use them on another project. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of the white. So I'll just put this over to the side. And I want to cut my black. And it's going to be cut at 4 1/4. So when you come in, if you feel like it, say hello. That's the chat part. I'm crafting. And you come in and say hello. And we're going to do this one at 4 1/4. And I'm here every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're just hanging out and having fun. And we're going to wait and cut that gray. Okay, so 2 black, 2 white, and then I'll put these 2 whites off to the side. So we are going to stamp. And I have already loaded that beautiful image on my stamp already. And so I think I'm going to stamp the white first. I want to stamp the white first. So I'll just slide it up here in the corner, put that down. So if I'm stamping the white, I need to use my VersaFine ink. And we are going to just ink it up really good. Try to get good coverage. I use my stamp positioner so that if for some reason the paper moves, I can put it back for a second stamp. So I'm going to have to move that. It's going to be in the way, I can already tell. But that's why I have this seated up in the far left corner. So as far as it can go. Well, I need to move that a little bit, don't I? Okay, so we're going to put it, let's see if I put it on the 1 line. How about the half line? Okay, so I see what line, that first line on this mat. And we're going to stamp it. We are going to stamp it. I'm going to mash down. Hope everybody's doing just fine. We are doing a 2-for-1 technique, which means that I will get 2 cards done out of this. And it's really pretty, and I hope you like it. So we're just mashing it down, rubbing it, trying to get a really good impression. If I have to do it a second time, of course I will. And I will. So that is no problem. I know where it was on that line. It's always best if you can butt it up against the corner. And to tell you the truth, I might just do that. I might just do that now. Let me do that. Let me flip it over. Paper has 2 sides. Let me flip it over. Move this stamp. I decided to do that after I inked it. That's about where I want it. Just kind of give it some pressure. So now that it's butted up against the corner, if I need to restamp it, I can. And this got in the ink pad, so I'll need to wipe that off before I make a mess. Let's see what we did here. Ooh, that is pretty. That is pretty, but I'm going to do it again. So, we're going to butt it up in the corner, in the very corner. I'm going to stamp it. That is pretty, but I'll use that for something else. It is, while it's pretty, it's not what I want for this technique, and it'll make sense to you. Just hang in there with me. Okay. Get that on down in there. Give it the. So put your back in it. Ooh, yes, look at that. That is gorgeous. I just love this particular image. So what I am going to do is take my stamped chamois and I'm going to clean the stamp. I just have water on it, but I'm going to clean this stamp off because I'm going to have to stamp this image again, but I don't need black. Okay, so clean that off. And before this dries, you close that black ink. That black ink is something. It gets over everything. My hands. Before this dries. Now, I did not use my stamp buddy, my embossing buddy with this because it's white paper. So if it got someplace I didn't want it to get, you're not going to see it anyway. I'm going to use the clear embossing powder, and I'm just going to put it over there before this ink dries. Just get good coverage. There we go. And then I just kind of fleck it off. And right now you don't see any difference, but you will. Hang in there. So let me get this back in this bucket so that we don't get this very fine embossing powder all over the place. Y'all know I love this embossing. I love embossing because it just, to watch it change from dull to something super shiny is just so exciting to me. So I'll put that over there. So now we're going to do the black. So for the black, I am going to use my embossing buddy. And I'm just going to go over it. And it's like it's like where you put it, if you don't want the embossing powder to land in that spot, it's supposed to keep it from doing that. So now I'm going to pop this back in, and I'm going to butt it right back up in that corner. And now instead of the black ink on black paper, I'm going to use this VersaFine Onyx Clear ink. Okay. So we are going to hi, okay, so hi, I just looked up. Hi, Retta, thanks for joining. Hi, Eileen. Yes, I have magnets. I'm just not using them tonight. I have one here. And then I have another one. I'm just not using them. Yep. Thank y'all so much for joining. I just looked up. That black ink does go everywhere. thought about wearing plastic gloves. You know, I don't really craft in gloves. I know that there are people who do, unless I'm like dealing with acrylic. I mean, yeah, like I'm doing epoxy or something like that. But just general stamping, I don't. I just, you know, it's going to get all over my hands, and thankfully soap and water will get it off. But that black ink, I don't know. I know how I am with it. But thank y'all so much for joining. So we're gonna just put our back in it, as we say. Get that. And see what that looks like. Oh, and that looks like a good stamped. Oh yeah. Yep, I can tell that it is. I don't know whether you can. Yeah, you can. You can see it. It's a good stamped image. So I did great the first time. So, yeah. So now I'm going to put the top on that's clear. And I am going to use the white embossing powder. And this is some Ranger white embossing powder. So I'm going to put the white all over it. And, oh, that's so pretty. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And I just use my little paintbrush I've had forever and just kind of dust off the excess. Oh, that's pretty. Now let me put that back in here. Let's see. Sometimes what I do, Eileen, is tape the I'll like just put a little piece of tape behind that paper. If the magnet's going to be in the way for my stamp positioner, I'll just put a piece of tape on the back of the paper, and that keeps it in place too. So what we're going to do now, I'm done embossing, so we'll move all this out of the way. Oh, and I'll get my little embossing clipboard here. Let me be very careful. I don't get too close to it. And I am going to turn on this. Let's see if I can bring it up so y'all can see the magic. See how it's changing? I hope y'all can see it where it's a little dull. Let's see. Let me do enough of it so you can compare and contrast. Let's turn this off. I can see it, and I don't know if the camera shows it, but right here it's a beautiful white, and then here it's a little dull, and I don't know if the camera shows it, but just trust me, it's so pretty. Oh, that is pretty. That is so pretty. I just love that. Let me tell you, that heat tool is making me hot. I had my ceiling fan on, and then I thought, that's not good with embossing powder. So I turned it off. Okay, now let's see. Watch this one. I think you can see this one better, the transformation better. Let me turn this off for a minute. So you see where it's gotten shiny here, where it's still a little dull up here. So it's going back. Woo, okay. Well, that is done. So we have embossed both of those. We are done with the heat embossing. We have a black panel and a white panel. So we're going to put them together. And they are the same size. But I just want to make sure they don't move. So I am going to use a little tape, just a little low tack mint tape. And I'm going to cut them in half. And so they were 4 1/4, so that's 2 3/4 for the half. Yeah. Whew. Okay. Well, I'm not going to do exactly half because I like that. Okay. Here we go. So I decided not to go half, and that's okay. You know, with crafting, you can change your mind. So I'm done with that tape. So now we have these 4 panels. Got 2 blacks and 2 whites. So this is what we're going to do. I cut these other 2 panels earlier. So I'm going to put a black and a white. And because they were lined up and stamped in the same place, can you see it's one continuous, let me bring that down some. It's a continuous pattern. So what I'm going to do, which embossing powder did I use on the white one? I stamped in black, so I used clear. So that would have been Brutus Monroe. Oh, let's see. I used this Brutus Monroe clear embossing powder, and I've had it forever. Here we go. That's what it looks like. And I wrote the word clear, so I know it was the clear one. So let us glue these on. Come on, wet glue. Cooperate. I just love this. I love these cards so much. I like when you can get a twofer. So line that up with that edge. Okay. And then we'll take the white and line it up. And just making sure that they marry. And they will. Because like I said, that's why it was important that they be in the same spot. And I'm not going to do the second card, but you do the exact same thing for the second card. You just reverse the sides like that. So here you go. Got that, but I'm not finished. I could take it and put it on a card base, and that would be pretty. That would be pretty. But that's not what we're going to do. Hi, Mary. Hi. Thank you so much. So what we're going to do, remember I had this die, and I just kind of want to zhuzh it up a little bit. So we're going to get our die cutting machine. Oh, And I'm going to raise this up just a hair. Let's see. I think it grabbed a cord. Sorry about that. Raise that up a hair. And we're going to cut that right quick. Guess we'll turn it this way since I'm right-handed. We're going to put that on. And I'm going to put this die in there. Just want to give it just a pretty decorative edge instead of just plain old square or rectangle or whatever shape that is. I just wanted to do something a little different because y'all know me. Okay, let me roll it back through there again. Okay, let's move her. And we will pop it out of there. Now it's got a pretty decorative edge to it. And I could then put it right on like that. And that would be pretty. I just got something on my hands, which is why I have a little eraser, which is somewhere. But anyway, I could do it like that. But I want to put a little gray behind it. I just wanted to put a little gray behind it. So I am going to leave very little border. I am going to get my paper trimmer and I'm going to trim it out. I'm not even measuring. Okay, put that gray over to the side. Just enough to peek out. Just enough to give it just a little interest. Okay, and then we're going to glue all this down. So let's glue this. And that's why I put those two halves on a solid panel. It was just easier for me to die cut. I knew I wanted to die cut. So if you don't want to die cut them and you want to leave them the original shape, then you don't have to use this additional panel because it's extra paper, you know, but I have a lot. And it's my mission to try to use most of it. Okay, and then to put it on the card base, I'm going to use my big pink ATG gun. Okay, and then we take that and put it right there on the card base. And I already stamped and cut my sentiment, which is happy birthday, and I knew that it was in gray. That's another reason I introduced the gray right here, because I didn't want the gray to just stand out and look, you know, like, what are you doing? So some random color. And you can always put gems, you know, on here if you want to. You know, I don't really do a lot of bling, but I love my stone. And I think I'll just put it right here. I love my stone drops, so I may actually put stone drops. That is the card for tonight. Let me bring my face back up. There we go. Do you like that? So check out this 2-for-1 technique. I have that card, and when I get a chance, I'll put this one together. So you get 2 cards, and I just think it's beautiful. And I love that I was able to incorporate embossing, and it feels so rich, y'all. When you emboss, it feels so rich. So that's our card for tonight. Thank you so much. Love the black and white contrast. I love black and white. I really do. Thank y'all so much for taking time out of your schedule to just watch. I appreciate it. I will be back here next Sunday, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time for Craft and Chat with Miss Craft Princess. Thanks, Eileen. I appreciate you. I pray that you all have a blessed week. And remember, giving a handcrafted greeting card is like giving a hug. Bye.